What's up with tacos? How you guys doing? Um, I just wanted to hop on. Uh, I'm actually going to Hawaii tomorrow with the family. Um, so we're pretty much packed, and tomorrow we just get up, get ready. Our flight leaves in the afternoon, so we kind of got some time. But I know my wife wants to kind of get to the airport early. I think we're gonna probably leave here around noon, get some lunch, maybe eat at the airport. But yeah, we're gonna go to Hawaii for the weekend, and my wife's been to Hawaii before, but this is my first time to Hawaii. Um, like everybody I know has been to Hawaii except for me. Like my dad's been to Hawaii. My sister's been to Hawaii. My wife's been. I mean, like everybody. Um, I just don't know why I haven't gotten around to going to Hawaii, but really excited. I've heard so many good things about it, and it's such a diverse state. Um, really strong Asian presence there, Korean, Japanese, um, but more so Japanese now. I think a lot of um, you know Japanese citizens uh, have kind of made Hawaii their second home. So there's a lot of sort of, people who reside there between there and Japan. Obviously, they've got a lot of money, but they've kind of made it, like a home away from home. So there's a lot of good Japanese food. Um, there's sort of this fusion Hawaiian, Japanese, American kind of cuisine and culture there. So looking forward to anyway, trying a lot of the local cuisine and just enjoying the beauty and family time out there. So looking forward to that. So I thought I'd just kind of hop on. I know I haven't been putting out a lot of videos, and there's a reason for that because this summer is going to be pretty crazy in terms of my plans. So, um, as you know, so I'm going to get back from Hawaii, and I'll have a few weeks more with my family, but my wife and my child are going to Japan without me this summer. And it was kind of a financial decision. Um, Normally, I probably would go, but if even if I do go because of work, I'm limited into how long I can stay there. So either way, even if I were to have joined them, I would have been there at most for maybe like 10 days at most, and they would have stayed there the entire summer. So, like inflation has really skyrocketed, and it's affected, I think, it's really affected the service sector. It's just more expensive to travel and get hotels and rent car. All of that stuff is just more expensive now. I would imagine more so in Hawaii. So um, we just kind of now. The reason we're going to Hawaii, by the way, is because we got discount tickets. So we ended up paying like we got this special Lunar New Year deal when we went to San Francisco to visit my sister. Um, Basically, we got discounted tickets, round trip tickets to Hawaii for $50 each. So we couldn't pass that up. We were just like, all right, I guess we're going to Hawaii now. So, hey, what's up, Ben? Ben Compton. So anyway, that's the reason why we're going to Hawaii. Um, but again, Japan's a very expensive to get tickets right now, and because of that expense, we just made the decision. Hey, I'm gonna sit this one out. My wife and kid are gonna go. They're gonna enjoy Japan, see family, do all that. But I'll stay here, and um, my wife basically allotted me about $400 for the summer to spend on comics, and that's not a lot, but it would have kept me busy and um, trying to pick up, you know, just looking for value, right? Just digging through boxes looking for value. So, but I've been telling myself I don't want to do that anymore. Um, and an opportunity came. I saw that Peach Momoko was coming to Rose City Comic Con in September. And when I heard that news, I knew that was where we're going to. Hey, what's up, K pop? I knew that's where I wanted to dump all the money. I wanted to take the $400 and we're going to just dump it and spend it at Rose City Comic Con. But that's in September, which is, it's almost I feels like it's a year out, but it's about 4 months out. And that's a long time. And I can't spend any of that $400. Um, and I have to wait 4 months. So that basically it would like kill my summer. I was like, man, what am I going to do? I was looking forward to picking up comics this summer. I can't even do that. Can't spend any money. And then it dawned on me, you know what? Wife and kid are gone. You're going to be busy with work, but on the weekends, you have nothing but time on your hands. So why not work this summer, work on the weekends? There's a lot of places hiring, um, wanting people to work on the weekends. Uh, you know, a lot of places allow you to work 8 to 10 hours, right? So I thought that would be a great idea. And I actually had a few job interviews recently. And so we'll see what happens with that. But I anticipate one way or another, I'm going to be working this summer. So that includes my full time job during the work week, Monday through Friday, and my weekend job, which pretty much will have me working 7-day weeks. Now, I do realize that I can't sustain that, but I figure um, just through the summer, it's definitely doable. So we're talking about what, a total of 12 weekends. And it's not like I'm going to be working like from morning to evening. I'll be pretty much putting in maybe a standard work day. So it's just going to be like I'm just going to be working all the time. But it'll be worth it. So I did some calculations. Um, so my wife's basically whatever I earned this summer, um, I'm gonna probably subtract $300 to $500 from whatever I earn and put that back into like, just give it to my wife basically. And I'm gonna also what I earn is gonna go toward like gas. Um, but in terms of the food bill, yeah, so I'll probably pay for gas on my own. But in terms of the food and all that, that's just gonna come out of our family budget. So even with all the gas and sort of the money I'm planning to set aside for this summer, that's a lot of money. I think I did the calculations. I'll have about $3,500 to spend when everything's said and done. Hey, what's up, yo? 3,500 bucks. By the time we get to Rose City Comic Con, on top of the $400 I have, I will have an additional 3,500 or so dollars. So we're talking about almost 4K for comics. Now I will be working my tail off um, to make that extra cash, but it'll definitely make this summer very interesting. And again, I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm gonna save the 4,000 and just blow it all. I mean, I don't think I could even. I'm pretty sure I could blow 4K at Rose City Comic Con, but um, that's not what we're intending to do. We've got our 400. I'll probably end up spending maybe close to $700, targeting $700 at Rose City, um, and just picking up books all summer, or vice versa, maybe reserving myself just like 500, 600 to spend this summer and spending over 30, 30 some hundred at the con. Whatever, I mean, anyway, we're kind of still planning it out. And again, I don't have the funds in front of me. I'll be probably getting paid once a week or once every 2 weeks. Um, but yeah, those paychecks will be coming in, and I'll be able to pick up books. Obviously, I can't pick up books on the weekend, but I'll have opportunities, maybe in the evenings after work. We'll have to, or maybe I'll just, buy stuff off online if it comes to that. But the cool thing is I'll be able to pick up good books because I can always go to like half price books in the evenings if I need. There's some comic book shops that are open to like, 8. Um, Although all the comic book shops in my area, they kind of close at 5, which is annoying. Jeff's closes at 7, so I could always head up to Jeff's and get stuff. But that's the plan. It's completely changed my outlook for this summer, and I have so much planning to do. I'm kind of like I haven't even wrapped my head around what I want to get, what I want to prioritize this summer. But it's all exciting stuff. So anyway, I'll be sharing it as it comes in. I'll be sharing it on the channel, and I'll also be sharing whatever plans. Like, we're gonna do some of the planning right here. So this video is gonna be really fun. You and I are gonna bond, and we're gonna go over the plan and things that we want to get signed, we want to do, and we're going to do all of that in this video. So just sit back, relax, chill, send me some comments and whatever. So the first thing I want to do is shout out Sarah Kuhn and Ariel Javelanos. They joined us earlier this morning to talk about their book, Lois Lane, Girl Taking Over. And I'm not going to spoil. I mean, there's nothing to spoil. I basically have only read the preview, but it's amazing. Go and get the graphic novel, which is out in bookstores and comic shops, um, and support them. They're amazing creators, and again, we really appreciated them just sharing their work on the project, how the project came about, and yeah, you know what I appreciated about them was they were very, they had a very strong like vision for the project in mind when they, very specific vision in mind for the project, and it revolved around telling um, a really Asian, like an Asian American story, and that's what I really appreciated. And the fact that we're right now celebrating AAPI Heritage Month, I have my wall of Asian creators here. We got Peach Momoko, we've got Greg LaRoque, we've got Sarah and Ariel, we've got Jim Lee, we've got John Boy Myers, we've got David Nakayama, got Jim Lee again, Dustin Nguyen, Art Germ, and Kurt Swan. He's not Asian, but he's up there. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't fill that area up. I think I got lazy. But anyway, just celebrating Asian American creators in the comic book industry, pop culture, really exciting stuff. Now, let's get to some of the planning. All right. So I already told you um, I'm going to Rose City Comic Con. Okay. And we'll go into some of the artists that are going to be, or the creators that are going to be at Rose City Comic Con. We'll go into that list and kind of do more, do a little bit of more detailed planning and look at which books we might look into getting this summer. But um, some of the big names I'm going to go over with you right now. And the biggest name is Peach Momoko. I mean, for anybody who's been following me and watching this channel, you know, Peach Momoko is just like, I'm just obsessed with her artwork. Um, and she's like just fast becoming like one of my favorite artists. Um, I mean, I have my favorite artists in mind, but I I think at some point she will kind of surpass them all at the rate she's going. So very excited to meet her. I am planning on doing a commission, having a commission done by her. That means putting down a wad of cash, probably a $500 to get that commission, but I feel like it'll be worth every penny. And so really looking forward to doing that. Um, but I think I have to kind of wait. She's going to probably open that process up the closer we get. And I definitely want to have that opportunity. So, what's up, Vic? I hope so. I really hope so. I'm really hope I don't want to have her do like a comic sketch, like a comic book sketch. I really just want her to do um, sort of a larger piece. Um, right. I just want to get her artwork. So I think again when we discuss the details of the commission, if I get that opportunity, I'm gonna really just in terms of the content, I'm gonna leave that up to her. And I guess what it'll come down to is like the size of the 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 canvas, I guess. Um, so yeah, I don't want anything too big. I do want to be able to like display it and like So I'm looking at something more like maybe like a poster, something a little like half of what you would consider poster size. So maybe half a poster size. But either way, it's exciting. So that's the first thing. Um, I know she'll probably be also signing some books, and she probably won't be charging. So the question is, how many books will she limit per person? And I'm not gonna take a lot of books. I'm gonna take maybe 5 books. In the event she does sign, like around 5. But in all honesty, I'm expecting her to maybe keep that limit to around 3, which is really fair, right? Because she'll be super busy. So I'm going to prepare 5 books, but have the expectation of maybe just doing 3. And if she's charging, we'll probably just get 3 signed, whatever she's charging. Because again, we'll have some budget there. But so Peach Momoko is one of the artists we're really, really looking forward to meeting. The other artist that we're really, really excited about is Stan Sakai. And Stan Sakai is just a legend in the comic book industry for his comic book Usagi Yojimbo. And it's basically about this like samurai rabbit. I never really got into the comic books, but I mean, anybody who's been collecting knows this comic book, knows Stan Sakai and the significance of his career. So, really excited to get the opportunity to meet him and get some, Usagi Yojimbo books signed by him. The other artist we're really looking forward to meeting is Jeff Loeb. And as you know, um, I think his run with Jim Lee on Batman Hush is just I think it's one of the, first of all, I think it's Jim's best, and this includes Claremont X-Men. Yes, I'm aware of that. But I think that that Hush run is probably Jim Lee's best work. It's one of the best runs in Batman. And again, Loeb is a big reason, critical reason. The both of them working on that are was the engine of what made that project really a success. So those 3 artists I'm really looking forward to. So obviously off the bat, I have this book here, Usagi Yojimbo. This was a book that came out recently. I believe it came out like maybe 2 years ago or last year. But it was a series of Stan Sakai comic books that Peach did the covers for. It was like I think this is a 6 or 7, maybe an 8 issue miniseries, Wanderer's Road. And this is just a beautiful cover. And I thought this would be great to get both Peach and Stan's signature on this book. Yeah, just having that opportunity is going to be very exciting. So I'll probably, I'll be targeting Peach right off the bat on Saturday morning. I'll be in that mad rush to just get to her booth and be one of the first to engage with her. And then I could just go about my day, go to Stan and do that. But yeah, hopefully, the commission will get that requested, and by the time Rose City Comic Con rolls around and I go to her booth, get this signed with whatever other books, um, she'll have that ready. So it really just, anyway, I'm just, if you can't tell I'm happy, I'm very happy. um, yeah, I'm glad you think that. I probably will get into it at some point. I probably should. Um, the other book I want to get signed by. So okay, so Vic brings up a great point. I need to add some Usagi Yojimbo books to my, and there's a lot of books out there to add. Obviously, I'm not going to go after like the Albedo, his first appearance or anything like that. Um, but we'll pick up some books. I want to get some, really nice cover art, maybe some key issues, and have them sign those. So again, we're going to target 3 Stan Sakai books as well. I'm going to take 5 in the anticipation he'll sign 3. And we'll just see what happens. Maybe he'll sign all 5. But that's definitely something we're going to be on the hunt for, look out for, are Stan Sakai books. So I definitely want to get this book signed as well. And this is Demon Days #1. So yeah, as all of you know, I love this version of Psylocke, and this is really just, I think this will be, when all is said and done, people are going to realize this is sort of Peach's first really significant work in comic books, and I hope um, people really take time to appreciate the Demon Days and Demon Wars like saga. So yeah, I mean, we could get both of these signed, but I'm really focused on getting this signed, and as well as my Psylocke book. So we have 3 books right there for Peach. Um, Now, one thing that could circumvent this is if we pick up the uh, character design cover. It's a variant, but it's basically Peach's, editorial character design, and they slap that on a variant cover, and it looks amazing. So that's a little bit of a, it's a bit more expensive to get that book. I'm really happy with just getting this signed. But if we are able to, again, get that at a reasonable price in time for the con, we'll want to get that signed. And these are some of the other things that are up. I really love the Spider-Man cover. I think that would be cool to get signed as well. So anyway, this is definitely going with us to the con. But I think the 3 at this point right now, the 3 Peach Momoko books, or the 3 books I'd want to get signed by Peach, are that Psylocke cover, this book, and the Usagi Yojimbo book. All right. So this is going to get also signed by Stan Sakai, and again, we're going to look for books for by Stan as well. Now, Jeff Loeb. The intent here with Jeff Loeb is to get Hush book signed. And the reason being is after we get these books signed by Jeff, we're going to turn around and the next signing opportunity we have with Jim Lee, get those books signed as well by Jim Lee. And then, maybe, I don't know, we'll try to get, I guess we'll try to get CGC to come and witness the signatures when Jeff does it and have that COA attached. So when we get Jim Lee to sign at whatever event, we probably have somebody there. We'll do the submission at that time and have it recognized, signed by both. But again, if these books don't get slabbed, it's not the end of the world either. I would like to have that slab, but if not, that's fine. Now the question is again, how many books will Jeff be signing? And if he's going to charge, maybe he's going to do 3 free and then charge an additional. So I think we're going to also target 5 books for Jeff with 3 in mind. And if he does charge for the 2 or whatever additional, I don't mind paying. So in terms of the books I'm targeting, one is this one. The other is this one. Now, this is actually just the DC Comics Essential. It's not the actual variant cover. I think I would want the actual variant cover rather than this one. So we'll probably target that. So have the 2 608 signed. So that's 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Those are the 5 Hush books we're targeting. And this one is, so this is my really crispy, clean, minty copy. We may take that with us to get signed, but this is my other copy. This is probably closer to a 9, maybe a 9.29. So it's going to be between either the really crispy minty copy or this 9. I'm leaning toward the 9 to get signed because the crispy clean minty copy is just for the PC. These are both PC books, but this one's more so like they're going to be handling it. I'm going to be taking it out. I'm sure nothing's going to happen to the book, but given that this is still high grade, there's just a couple spine ticks. I feel more comfortable having them handle it, sign it, Jim as well, because it's really just about the engagement. It's not really about like this being high grade and having a slab attached to it or whatever. It'd be nice if I could do it, but overall, the important thing is it should get signed by Jeff as part 1, and then part 2 will be having Jim's signature on there. So really, sort of a long-term project, but half of that work is going to be, we're going to see the fruits of that by this year. Now, the other thing is, given that Peach is there, Stan's there, and Jeff is there, Jim Lee attended this event last year and it was announced rather late that he was coming up. I think they announced it like the last week or so. And there's always a possibility he could make it this year too. Now, given his new responsibilities at DC, being president, I don't know if he's still going to be doing cons. I would imagine he would. That's kind of his calling card to represent DC Comics. You probably want to do as many of these events as possible just to promote DC, like in some capacity. But we'll see. But if Jim Lee makes it, man, that'll make this project so much easier. In fact, I may even get this book signed by all of 4 of those artists. I mean, like, assuming Jim is there, right? Assuming Jim makes it, I want to get this book signed by Peach, Stan, Jeff, and Jim. I know Stan and Peach have nothing to do with this, but it'd just be cool to have all of these, top, my favorite creators. It'd be a good just memory, like a memento of the vet. So that's another option we could do. And there's just so many like exciting things to take into consideration on what we want to do. It's just going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, so let's get into more of the planning. I think you kind of saw these are the books I have. These are the books that we're going to take with us to the con. But again, it's not set in stone yet. We're still doing the planning. So let's kind of go to the Rose City page and check out some of the other artists that have been announced to attend this event. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, we've got like Aaron Lepestre, Arthur Sidem. This is the guy who does the Marvel Zombies books. So I think we have a couple of his books. We'll take those with us. So that's another artist I think we could target. Um, yeah, you just got a lot of great creators here. Now, Dustin Nguyen, I think we're going to look into getting another um, piece by him, maybe some original artwork. But again, we'll probably pick up more Dustin Nguyen books and have those signed, and also pick up some artwork as well. So really looking forward to that. Um, Jeff Loeb, yeah. So I think the Batman Hush books are good for now. We'll keep our eyes open for, uh, maybe try to pick up a Tim Sale signature book, a book that's already raw and signed by Tim Sale, and then like again like a Batman the Long Halloween, or something they've worked on together. They've done quite a bit together. And I already have a signed book by both of them though, so I don't know. We'll see. That's another option. Um, there's some celebrities here. Let's just go to because I really don't care too much about the celebrity guests. I'm just really focused on the comic guests, so we'll stick to comics here. Gene Ha, Jeff Loeb, Carl Kessel. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, obviously Peach Momoko's the reason we're going, so that's cool. Randy Emberlin's going to be there, cool. Ron Randall. Ah, Simon Bisley. All right, so Simon Bisley's going to be there, and we definitely want to pick up some books. I have one actually. I had one Simon Bisley book in the collection, um, but I ended up selling it. So I think we need to pick up more, and I think Lobo would be a great. I know, Katie, you want the Lobo book, probably signed by Simon. Um, that is a great book, so we'll probably pick up a Lobo book. I liked his work on, Batman and Judge Dredd. That's a book I read growing up. But there's so many good, even like his alien stuff. There's just so much good art to choose from. We're just gonna have to really be thoughtful. Get 3 books there for Bisley's signature. Um, Again, Stan Sakai. We gotta look for Stan Sakai books, and we've got to. Yeah, Katie, let me know if you want something signed. Okay, I'll I'll get that signature. I'll get that book signed for you and mail it to you. So let me know. And this is another. So Zach Davidson. Let's pop into here for a minute. I'm gonna get his. I forgot to mention. I'm gonna get his signature on not this Demon Days book, even though he did the translation. So Peach wrote the book, but he was the translator into English. So it's actually his sort of technically his writing through translation. I'm gonna get him to sign this book here, Demon Days. Or sorry, Demon Wars. Um, I just want the Demon Days to be just a Peach signature on that one, but we'll try to get both Zach and Peach on this book, so that'll be cool. Well, you know, it'll be cool to get that. Um, just talk about this project as well. Like, I think be cool to. He seems like he's really into like Japanese manga, so just kind of get his take on what that project was like working with Peach. All right, so now that I've kind of featured who we're targeting, again, this guest list is there's always names being added, so we'll continue to visit this and see who else is. We're really hoping for Jim, okay? But we'll just keep updating it. Heavy metals. That's a good point. Yeah, that is a great point with the magazine size. Yeah. Ugh. All right. There's so much. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to like consider. So let's do some of that now. I have my eBay um, ready to go here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at. Let's start with Stan Sakai. Again, I'm not buying anything. I'm just using eBay. I'm looking to eBay for ideas. I'm not going to buy it off eBay. I'm just going to say, okay, that's a book I'd like to pick up or target. So we're using this for ideas. If it is a bargain and we think, yeah, it's worth getting, we may put a little heart next to it or something, but I'm going to write these things down. All right. So not even, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Stan Sakai CGC. And the reason I do that is because oftentimes if people are getting a book slabbed, it's because one, it's either has some kind of sentimental or value to that person, personal value to that person, or two, it's a significant book, whether it's a key or along those lines. And I think again, if we're going to get a book signed, it's probably better to look at that list than sort of an unfiltered list. So I'm going to put Stan Sakai, CGC, and look see what books pop up here. So yeah, some variant covers here. Got this Venom cover. Oh wait, you can't see. That's interesting. All right, so I'm basically can't. You guys can't see what I see in terms of I have a different tab open. It's only allowing me to say I'm this. So let's just go and see which Space Usagi Volume 2, Number 1. This is a cool one. Usagi Yojimbo Number 1. Looks like it's maybe volume, like a later volume, maybe. Um, they already have a version here for $300. It's a little. That's the other thing. When he signs, he draws these little rabbit sketches. I hope he does that for us as well. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, Momoko did Usagi covers too. Yeah, and I'm gonna get one of those signed. So get both of their signatures. That'll be cool. I kind of like this Space Usagi, the Star Wars homage. That's kind of cool. Um, Look at that. He did a Star Wars sketch variant. That's very cool. Mm, so many options. I think though I'm leaning toward this Usagi Jimbo #1, the first print. Yeah, I mean it's within. It's not like a terribly expensive book. That could be an option. We could just do more. Here's another one: Space Usagi Momoko. We could do that one. This way we kill two birds with one stone, right? Um, I think that's a beautiful. I mean, that looks really nice with those signatures there, Peach and Stan. Um, that is so cool. So that's one we're going to target. Space Usagi. Get some sci-fi action, and we're targeting the Peach variant. And I think that Star Wars. I keep everybody got that Star Wars CGC signed. Let's take a look at the Peach stand book. Oh, look at that! This version. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I know. And this is sort of the series. Wanderers Road #1. I think I want to get this version, Wanderers Road version, Wanderers Road #1 version. I think I want to get that one. Try and get that one. It looks like it's going to be in the $30-40 range, right? Um, oh, that one looks nice too. Usagi Yojimbo #31 variant, Peach variant. This is I. So I had an opportunity to buy this one actually. Yojimbo Water Roll #5 with the flowers, and he's just looking up at the sky. That's a beautiful cover, right? It's a it's technically a landscape cover. That is one we want for sure. And that's not expensive. Like it's cover price. You probably pick it up for like $4, right? Cover price. So Wanderers Road #5 is what we want to target. Boom. I think we're done with the Stan targeting books. That's 3 books right there, all like really cool books. So Space Usagi, Wanderers Road #1, 5. That should be good. All right. Now we're gonna look at Peach books. I know I have Peach books in my collection that I want to get signed, but that doesn't mean we can't. When Peach had the signing event, I wanted to um, essentially get I got the hard, heavy metal. I'll show it off here. I got this Frazetta. I got this Frazetta cover sign. This is her first work in comic books, and her first comic book art. And again, when she did this signature book, so I wanted to get a bunch of books signed by her, but I only submitted one because it was one of those budgetary restraint kinds of situations. Um, but in terms of what I wanted to get, really also what I wanted to get signed that I wasn't able to submit was that, I showed it off earlier, this book right here. Okay. So, but more than this book, hang on here. Allow me to type. There we go. I'm going to share my screen again. More than that specific book, I really wanted to get the Psy character design variant. That's the one I really wanted to get. So I think along with the Demon Days #1, we want to get that on here somewhere. Really, all her books are amazing. Any one of these we take to the con and have her sign. Like, I mean, she could sign my forehead, and I'd be happy. Just getting an opportunity to meet with her and chat is really the goal. I'll have the opportunity to practice my really horrible Japanese with her. This Psy, again, the Psylocke cover here in Mortal X-Men #9, that is a really, and I know my LCS has that right now at cover, so we may want to go and get that in June. That'll probably be one of our first pickups for this con prep. I'm not seeing, so that kind of shows you how rare that variant cover is. I may just have to. Oh, this Marauders one is also magnifique. I wouldn't mind having the design of the Spider Gwen either. There are just so many beautiful books. It's hard to it's hard to limit it to just a few. Here we go. Just look for it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Wow. See, it's just not available, I guess. I guess I've been Demon Days #1. Here we go. It's just not available. Wow, look at that. That's insane. No one wants to sell it. Here it is. Oh, it's a signed copy for $200. We could just, I guess, just buy it. CGC. I have some cash. I have the money. Yeah, it was incredible, and that's another great point. Like her Cherry Pop Tart books, they command a high price, but that would be cool to have as part of the collection as well. Um, right, this Demon Days. Um, I wish I could show you Is there a way for me to just toggle here between? Let's see if that works. No, that's not what we want to do. I think I want to, hang on. I just want to show the screen, actual screen. Entire screen. Here we go. There, the option was in front of me the entire time. I was too lazy to. There we go. Okay, so you'll hear my voice, and you'll. So this is what I'm talking about right here. How beautiful is that? I just get this book, right? Because I got the money. I'm Daddy Warbucks. I'm rich like that. Um, I mean, $200. I may just get this book, right? Like, why beat around the bush? It's just such a beautiful. It's got all our notes and everything. Ah, it just looks fabulous. It looks so fabulous. Oh, yeah. Um. Anyway, I think this is an option right here, just to get this book. Uh, but we'll keep looking. All right. So going back, I think we have kind of an idea of the peach books we want to target. I think Cherry Pop Tart. Let's take a look at the. I know the specific Cherry Pop Tart book I'd want to get. Um, I know there's a more. They're not even for sale though. They're just none available. Oh, that's crazy. See, this guy's selling the 9.8 for 400. We don't need a 9.8. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not seeing it on eBay. We'll just have to find it somehow, some way, somehow. Is it because I have to put Pop Tart together? No, it's still not giving me any options on the Pop Tart. All right, well, doesn't mean we can't. Here we go. Go back to eBay. All right, so we've got our options for we've got our options for the peach books. We've targeted some peach slash stand books, and now we're Jeff Loeb. We've already got sort of the Jeff Loeb books we want to get. I guess Dustin Wen would be our next. Now, you know what? I'm gonna let Dustin come to me via the Unyum. I'm not gonna plan there. We're gonna whatever I find, whatever books I find of his on the hunt, because I know I'll be able to pick up books for like a quarter, 50 cents, and again, they don't have to be the best grade. I'm just gonna get signatures, so I'm not gonna worry too much about that one. Um, you know what? Thanks, guys. I think we're done on the book planning. Um, I pretty much have a pretty good idea in terms of Bro City Comic Con artists of what to prepare for that, and yeah, that should be good. I don't think we need to go in very deep there. All right, so but we're not done. We're not done. That's just Rose City Comic Con. So let's do some quick math here. Rose City Comic Con, we are going to put $500 down. First of all, the event itself is going to cost about $60 for the day. let's assume Jim Lee makes a late announcement. Hey, I'm coming to Rose City, and we want to do 3 books by him. That's going to be 150 right there. So 60 plus 150, that's 210 plus, again, 500 down for Peach's book. We're already at, what is that? I'm bad at math. We're already at 710, right? We're already at 710. So I'm gonna just conservatively take with me. We're gonna take $1,500, reserve $1,500 for Rose City Comic Con. You know what? Let's just make it 2,000. 2,000 for Rose City Comic Con. Okay. So that roughly gives me 2K to work with just for the summer budget. Okay. 2K to work with just for the summer budget. And that works. So again, I'm working part-time this summer on the weekends to make extra, all that. It's basically all that weekend work is going pretty much all into comics. So I did the calculations, work all summer, probably have around $3,500 plus the 400 my wife reserved. We're looking at roughly 4,000. So I'll have a little under 2K to spend this summer on books. So what are we targeting? It's going to be a fun summer. For as most of you know, my previous approach to comic book hunting was whatever comes my way. Was what was meant to be. We called that concept unmyeong, which is a Korean word for like fate, destiny. If we're to use unmyeong in the context of a sentence, hey Damien, talking about the summer plans. So if we're to use that context in a sentence, unmyeong, it'd be like your partner in life, right? Your partner in life is probably the thing that represents unmyeong the best, because you start off as 2 different people on 2 different paths, probably don't know each other, right? And then you converge at one point in time. And when that happens, that moment is, you say, my unmyeong. She's my unmyeong, like she's my destiny, my fate, right? And that convergence represent it's life changing. It's like the multiverse. Like there are all these paths, but the one you exist in is that one path, right? So there are all these like possibilities and whatnot, but there's only one real possibility, one instance. So again, that's a great analogy right there. Like the comic book you want isn't always necessarily going to be on that path, but the comic book you're destined for on the hunt, the one that you meet on that path, is your unmyeong. So now, having said all that, I want to be a little bit more deliberate with my unmyeong books now. Meaning, I just don't want to like go out, leave it up to chance. I'm actually going to hunt and target for the book I want, so that I add. At the end of the day, I'm adding what I want, rather than leaving it up to chance. I'm talking about my summer plans, CJ. Welcome to the show. Yeah. So we got 2K to work with this summer, and that's just fun to have that kind of money, because it gives you latitude. Like, it gives you latitude to either spend 2K on one book, and that's a possibility. Um, I think if we're going to spend that kind of money, it's going to be on uh, a golden age Superman book. Yeah, and I don't mind. And so I think that's another option at Rose City Comic Con, uh, is what we can do is we can really reserve like like an additional $1,000 at Rose City to pick up a key Superman book, right? Yes, you did hear right. So, as I said, I plan to work part time on the weekends this summer to just make extra money. And all that extra money that I will be making on the weekends is going to go directly to comic books. Yeah. I might save a little bit, just to give to my wife, maybe some presents for my wife and kid. But the bulk of it is just comic book budget. And again, I have a lot of time on my hands, because my family will be in Japan the whole summer. I'm going to be home alone. So I thought, what better opportunity, right? It's not like I would have wanted to get comic books anyway, but I didn't have the money to spend on comic books. This way, I stay busy, I earn that money, and earning that money to spend on comic books will make me appreciate and spend more wisely, right? It's like putting all this work in, I'm working myself ragged, but at the end of the day, when that paycheck comes in, and we find some time to hit a comic book shop or do something, it'll feel special. So we're gonna hit up a bunch of spots, um, probably close. Like, that's the thing. Like, since I'm working weekends, it's gonna be tough. It'll be like either right after work we head somewhere, or it'll be, yeah. That's really the only option. Maybe take a PTO or something, um, once a month, to do that. Just drive around. You can do anyway. There'll be opportunity to do that. Um, so 2K. What are we going to target with 2K? That is the $1 million question. And luckily, it's not like I'm going to sit here with you and try to figure that out. I've already pre predetermined kind of what I'm targeting. So I'll just share with you what we're targeting for the 2K budget. Now, all things being equal, I really only need to save about $1,000 for Rose City Comic Con, right? And since I have about 4K, if I reserve 1,000 for Rose City Comic Con, I really have about 3,000 a $3,000 budget. That's a great question, Damien. I do have a specific book in mind. Um, one one is Superman number 10. So let me just get that list here. One of the Superman books I would, and now, mind you, it would be a low grade copy of Superman 10, because it's just you just not going to get that book right for anything. I mean, well, again, if I want to spend like 2K, maybe we could get a little bit of a higher grade, but ultimately it's going to be in that grade range. Um, and so what I'm going to do here is type in, rather than just look at it here, this is the book. I'm not closing eBay off as an option because obviously eBay would be one of the best sources for, although they don't have Superman 10. I find that really hard to believe that they would. I guess they're just not that. I'm seeing a copy of Super. Let's just go. Let's just go to see what the book looks like here. No, this is not the book. This is not the book. What book am I thinking of then? Maybe it's from 30. Yeah, it's 13. Sorry, it's the yeah, the Nazi boat. The German boat. Isn't allowing me to click on a bigger copy. This is the book. I think. Let's go back to eBay here. I think there's also there's a black cover where he's getting hit by lightning. That may be like a later issue. I'm thinking that's like 40 something. Should probably put Golden Age here. There we go. Here it is. So for an 8.5 purple label, was that blue label? No, it's a restored grade. Beautiful looking book though, man. Look at that. Wow. 2,800, which would be pretty much my entire budget um, on a restored book. There's another. There's an actual cover with Hitler, right? Where Superman's, or is it Joseph Goebbels? This is it right here with the Japanese, yeah, Hitler and the Japanese emperor. Horrible Asian stereotype right there, but this one here, it would be another one. I mean, um, is that is bank. Look at how low grade this is, and yet it's $3,900. Um, but how many of those that are graded in a decent condition would it would be even be for sale, right? Oh, yeah, First Luther. Yeah, that's another. Is that what 13 is? First Luther. No, I think First Luther might be. I think this is like the first where he's bald. Maybe. What does it say here? No, it's just a Luther appearance. Yeah, it's not the first Luther. It's the first Luther. First Luther would be real bank. I think first Luther is what Superman 3. Is it 2 or 3? It's one of those. Or action, maybe it's Action Comics 2 or 3. It's one of those. Um, Again, I think if I'm going to pick up a Golden Age Superman book, it's going to have to be at a Comic Con or at one of these like. Um, I know they have a big SummerCon might be a great place to pick it up, but they have a, a sort of a comic book convention. Not I don't want to say convention. It's a comic book uh, like it's basically just a sales bazaar of comic book sellers, and I feel like if you go there, there'll be a lot of people with Golden Age stuff up. I just know that those aren't always the best places to get books either for deals because they're not going to come down on price, right? It's not like you can haggle. You can probably haggle with other stuff, but Golden Age Superman, they're not going to want to let that go. So they're going to have a price. It's probably going to be a very competitive price, and you're not going to be able to budge on that. Yeah, I'm still going young, and I think one thing I will, for example, look at this. Man, is that a beautiful book? Now, the issue with buying it off eBay though is as good as some of these pictures are, and that look 6,900 for really good copy. I think this is like it's just a point five, for example. I think that would just blow out my entire budget, right? Um, so I think that getting the Golden Age Superman is just a little bit of a, the fact that I got a couple thousand, just it makes me feel like I have an opportunity to do it. But I think in reality, if we do pick something up, it's not going to be this book for sure. It'll probably be something maybe less significant. But I think Superman 13 is one we're targeting. Just in terms of with our budget and a low grade copy, something that's doable. So we'll probably spend about 1,000 trying to get Superman 13. Um, this is the other one I was considering is not 13, but Superman. I think this is probably more of a possibility, and that is Superman 32. I see right here a 4.0. This is also look at that. Now this is selling for 1,200. It's a bit. It's an auction. The starting 100. There's a 5.5 for buy it now for 2,500. There's a big chip page there, but This looks really nice. I mean, oh, I think again, we're targeting a book for around $1,000, Golden Age book. And to be honest, I'm not terribly. It doesn't have to be the best. I will expect it to have chipping. I think to say, oh, I want something. I I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't mind a restored book if it's going to be raw. If it's going to be like an actual book, um, that has chipping and damage and is brittle, it's a risk because that's something I'll have to send into CGC, spend additional money, and you know, again, given it's a golden age book, I think CGC they charge you whatever its fair market value is. They just take a percentage of its fair market value as the fee. Um, Whereas if I were to just get this book here that's already slabbed, right? It's restored, but it looks great as a restored copy. It's even signed. Look at that, Oscar Conrad. Is that like the radio? I don't know. Is that some kid or what does it say here? All right, they're not giving any. Damien, do you know who Oscar Conrad is? If you do, let me know in the chat. But you know what I'm like for that's a little out of my budget, but I would prefer to have that like a 5.0 restored. Like here's another great example. It's already slabbed. It looks great. It's got some kid wrote all over it, but it looks great. Um, I wouldn't mind having this in the collection, and it's people are bidding on it for 300, $400. I don't know where that'll end up, but something along those. Like I wouldn't want to get something like this, right? Where it's just a raw copy. It's like, yeah, it's $500 when you tack on CGC fees, shipping, waiting, and all that. It's like I just rather just let's look at the buy it nows. I don't know. I'm putting it up in auction. People auctions or not. You just want to buy it, right? So here, 2,500, buy 5. I would totally guess. So if I go to the con, yeah, that chip doesn't bug me. That's a beautiful looking copy. If not for that chip and rip, it's just. But again, 2,500 is a little bit more than I actually want to spend, but see the value in that. I do see the value in that. Um, really, that golden age books would be just cool. Doesn't really matter at this point what the book is. Well, look at this. 275, 2.0, Lois Lane as Superman cover. No, you're kidding me. Just has a bunch of writing on it from a guy who was I guess John, it was just Joe or John was practicing how to write Superman in cursive. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, kid. Look at that. Um, I guess I don't mind. It's kind of annoying though. All the scribbling by the kid owner of this book, Joe. John, is it, or Joe? Joanne John? Was he practicing like Joe? That's a beautiful book, though. 2-0, 275. Come on. That's definitely like just that. I mean, that's an option right there. That's an option. Would you not say? Yeah, I agree. Depends on the type of restoration. I think um, if it's restoration where it's in a slab and it just looks great, it to me, yeah, it does. It's not. It's a lower tier than, let's say, that grade without it being restored. But think about that price gap, right, CJ? Like, if you're really just wanting a book that looks good, because that's ultimately what it is. Like, you want to, it's art. At the end of the day, it's art. And if you have damaged art versus art that looks good, even though it's restored and even though it's going to be lower value, you want to look at it at the end of the day. So for me, it actually works in my favor, right? Because I'm getting the book I want. It looks good. It is the original, right? But it's just been touched up. So I don't. I wouldn't be too upset with that. Oh, so many great covers. I really like that book though. The one we just saw, Superman 57. Let's see if there's a book that's similar in grade but without all the writing in it. Because the writing is a little bit off putting. It's still, I mean, for 275, that's still a great. Like here's a 1-0 for 360 with no writing on it. It's chipped to hell, but it still looks better, I think, than that previous book, right? Right? Oh man, that that is, that is. Oh man, I mean that's a book to watch right there. Here's a better grade for 1400. I bet I could send an offer for 1000 on this. What do you think, CJ? What do you think? Yeah. Um, you think if I put in an offer of 1K for this book, I could get it? Beautiful copy, clean, boring cover. Man, I still want this book for $1,000. So exciting to actually be able to pull the trigger on something like this, right? That's something I haven't had in a while. To have this kind of money and really put into a, a significant book. Oh, here's a purple label. This means it's been uh, restored. See how this is similar to the grade that we were just looking at for $1,000. This is half. The cover's been trimmed quite significantly. That I would not want. Looks like they did a really horrible job on that trimming too. Like, why would you do that to that book? That was just dumb. That's dumb. Here's the CBCS with Big Al on it. God, these kids in the 50s. What were these kids doing in the 50s, 40s, and 50s? Come on. Did you not have like blank paper to write on? Here's another option. Although that, for me, that 5.0 for this one 3.0, this guy has it super overpriced compared to the previous guy. All right, well, I think we're falling down a rabbit hole here in terms of golden age stuff, but that's another option. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, this is preliminary. I don't have any actual money attached to me right now to buy this. It's all preliminary stuff. So yes, I think a little bit more research on my end is probably due. 750. Oh wow. Okay, you think I could get it down almost half? Interesting. Because he was wanting what 1,200 for it, 1,300. So seven. Yeah, I guess yeah. Throwing a low offer like that could work, because then at least you kind of, even if you were to meet in the middle, you're kind of getting your price. So good point. Over. Okay, so we took a look at the Golden State Age stuff. Let me just go through some of these other books that I have in mind. So we have, again, like I mentioned, we have about, so I put 2K aside for the Rose City Comic Con. I'm putting 2K aside for this summer, just picking up books this summer. So I have two options with that, um, which is really to just, you know, check books off my checklist, rather than trying to target like a golden age book, right? If we target a golden age book or like a real grail type, I don't even want to say grail, because grail, I don't have, I can't get a grail book. They're just too expensive. But let's say like a significant key, right? Like, um, one where we could potentially, like, it's 2K. Like, if you want to get that book, it's going to cost you 2K. So whether it's one or two books, again, 2,000 is what we're working with in terms of the budget. So um, there's really two strategies: to target the big books, like two big books, or maybe one big book, just blow it all in one area. Or the other option is, um, really kind of check the books on your list that you want for sure, and that you, with 2K, you're going to be able to substantially, get a stack of books as opposed to just one or two books. So here's one of the books. I think there are some real, um, top priority things I want to add to the collection, and some of it's Jim Lee, some of it's just like key comic books I've been wanting to add. Here's one. So this is more of a modern is it right here. The Jim Lee Psylocke variant of Hellions. And look, it's about $200. It's just one of those like low print, you know. Here's one for 500, 9.8. Jeez, kidding me? So again, that's another option. Okay, to go after something like that. What else we got here? Um, so I went over some of the Superman books I want. Here's another one. This is one we've been wanting to add for quite a long time. Um, in fact, this is one of the books I was trying to get at Emerald City Comic Con. But I definitely think so. Let's look at this one first. Right, we're gonna pick this one. This is one we're really will be targeting. We've been wanting to pick up that book for a long time, and this is the other one. Just love this early like. Um, this is the other one. The White Queen. What was it? I'm forgetting the name. The club. Hellfire Club. Love these Hellfire Club. This Hellfire Run. Obviously, we want to pick up a higher grade than this one, but yeah. See, for example, like it's steep. Look at that, 16.99. Um, for me, this was fine. This $139 copy. That looks great. This looks so bad in terms of the grade. Actually, really nice. It's got a little bit of crease there. What's the back looking like? Yeah, it looks like it's got some. Again, this is why I wouldn't buy on eBay. You just never know what you're gonna get. But I'll choose pick up just locally. I know a bunch of sellers around here have that, so that's I think one book. These two books here, 135, 133. We're gonna walk away with this at the end of the summer. These will be in my collection come summer's end. So just a matter of when and how much. All right. So what are some other books we're targeting? Here we go. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. So as all of you know, one of the other books I was hunting for during Emerald City Comic Con was this book here. So this is a book. Now, I think this is another book you'll definitely see in the collection come summer's end because my buddy Agu, if you're watching this on the rewind or if you're in the chat and not, I'm gonna hit you up for that 4 or 5 copy. Agu has this book slabbed 4 or 5. I think he's $400, um, which you know, I'm hoping he can come down just a little bit on that price, maybe 350. But again, that's up to him to make that decision. But uh, we'll probably get it from him because I trust him. Again, it's slab. It's not like I can debate the grade. Um, and he says it's a really well presented, clean copy. I've seen pictures of it actually. So I think I think when we start to get some of this budget, in the first month, I think these three books we're gonna obviously be looking out for them. But I think I'm just gonna pull the trigger on Agu's Batman 251. And that'll probably be the first book that we get. So already, I mean, that's $400 right there. So already that's eating into my golden age Superman plans. Not that that was ever really a. I don't know. I gotta really looking at that Lois Lane book, Superman. What was it, 57? I really want that book now. But at the same time, I've been wanting the Neil Adams book. So I think I'm just gonna what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the trigger on the Neil Adams book, just get it out of the way, okay, and then yeah, save 1,000 for that Superman 57. Try to get it well under that. I think we could probably pick it up for $500 from somebody. And also, obviously, if we don't pick it up this summer, target it at Rose City Comic Con, um, and target all these other books that I just mentioned at Rose City as well. So if we take a good 2K to Rose City, again, 500 for the Peach signatures, 150 for if Jim Lee shows up. Um, Sprinkle in some original art by some of the creators there. Sprinkle in some maybe signed books if people are charging. That still leave us about 1,000 and change to pick up the four books that I just mentioned. So the two X-Men books, the Hellions, and the Superman 57 or 13. Any of those two books, as long as we can pick it up for about around 1,000 bucks or under, that's the plan. Okay, so there we go. Sometimes you got to just think out loud, and that's what I love about just hopping on and talking to you guys. Right. I'm on a mission, yeah. Um, so it'll be a fun summer, and I hope you guys. I will definitely be, even though I'm going to be working and doing a lot on the weekend during the day. Um, I will, obviously have some time in the evenings. Maybe not. I do want to get to bed because I'm going to be working the next day pretty consistently. So, um, those prices, yeah. Uh, hey, fanboy, I know you're tuning in right now. But yeah, I'm pretty much. I have this project. I don't have. I haven't. I don't have the actual job yet, but I have been interviewing. But um, working. We're planning to work part time on the weekends because wife and kid are going to be out of town for the whole summer. They're going to be in Japan for the whole summer. So I'll have weekends, and rather than just sitting around the house, not being able to buy comic books and kind of wasting time. I'd rather just work, keep myself busy, and make that extra cash to get books. So by my calculations, if we get this position, I have a certain, you know, in terms of hourly wage that I'm targeting, I have that in mind. And based off my calculations of what I'll earn in terms of my hours and the weekends I work, I'm anticipating about $3,500 to spend on comic books this summer. So after it's all said and done, I'll have $3,500. That means even though we can, I think by the time I get my first couple of paychecks, I'll have enough to pull the trigger on Agu's Batman 251. It's a 4.5 grade, probably, and he said he'd sell it to me for 400 before. I'm hoping he can come down maybe 375, 350. We'll see. But picking that book up, I'm just, you know, but I think what's going to be fun this summer is I'll have like 20, 30, 40 bucks in my pocket. I'll reserve everything else for like Rose City or a big book, right? Everything's we're going to save, but that 20, 30 bucks, we're just going to go, bargain hunting. And I'll be able to do some bargain hunting hauls, like, 15 books, $15, that kind of thing throughout the summer. And yeah, it should be a fun summer. And looking forward to that. So yeah, again, I'll continue to put out these videos when I can find the time, and hopefully share, just keep updating you on this process, like where that money is going. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for this summer. I'm really excited for the summer. I wasn't. I was kind of dreading it just a couple weeks ago because I had $400, and I knew that $400 wasn't going to last me the month, let alone 3 months. And then Rose City Comic Con, they made that announcement, and I was like, "Oh, Peach is coming. Okay, we got to take that 400 and just dump it into Rose City, right?" Well, now this changes everything, right? I have something. I have a goal to work toward, which is just working and getting that money, and then how to utilize that money to really, at the end of the summer, look back and say, okay, mission accomplished. We got all the books we wanted. We got all the stuff at Rose City Comic Con that we wanted to do. And that's pretty much it, right? So it'll just be on my end. I do want to go out and hunt books and enjoy that part of the hobby. I think is the most gratifying. But I think with this plan, the way it's rolling out, I won't have a lot of opportunities to do that. I don't have a lot of free time to go to I'll be working while the comic book during the business operating hours, right? So during business hours, if I can't go, it'll actually force me to, like, okay, eyes on the prize. We're working. Keep the money separate. And even if I do have an opportunity to break away or go to half price books or whatever, I'll keep it to like $20, $10, whatever the Un Myung Hunt brings me. Sometimes Un Myung Hunt brings under $10. Other times it's like, wow, we're spending $20. So that's the thing I appreciate about half price books. It's always on a somewhat moderate budget that we go there. And then when we have time to go to comic book shops, we'll maybe take a little bit more money, be a little bit more specific in terms of what we pick up. But I think at this point, We want to pick up the big book from Agu, and then we want to try to pick up all the big books at Rose City Comic Con in that day. We'll see what happens. So what if you made 3,500, used 100 to buy reprints of everything you're looking for, and save the 3,500? Would that be equally gratifying? Well, I think with these Copper Age books, like bronze Copper Age books, no. Buying a reprint of that would not be gratifying. But I think for some of the Grail books, for example, a Giant Size, a Hulk 181, what else? I guess even the Neil Adams reprint. Yeah, I think I am satisfied with a lot of my Neil Adams reprints. For example, when I got the infamous drug, right, the drug issue, I'd always been wanting to get that book, but when I got the reprint, I was kind of like, you know what, this it does its job. I love looking at. I've got two copies of it, two reprint copies of it actually. I don't feel like I need to get the original on that one. Um, but there's just something different about the Batman 251. We'll see. I think CJ, you bring up a great point. I think at the end of the day, if I do pick up, let's say, a real sort of like real like authentic facsimile, like meaning it looks from front to back, interior, it's a real like copy facsimile copy. um I think, and again, that if I spend like $10 as opposed to 400, and I had that 400 spent on something else, we could do that. I think I could be fine with it. um but I do know, like, that Batman Neil Adams book is something I've been wanting, and I think 400. It's not like it's, to me it's like a Grail, but it's not like it's at a Grail type price. So I think in that instance, yeah, that's something we could probably just pick up, not get a so I don't really have an answer for you. I kind of want to, both options are on the table. um I think where the X-Men's are something I do actually want. Um, the Hellions definitely I want, because there's no facsimile situation going on there. But the fact, that being said, I wouldn't want to pay. I think what you saw that for 100 something bucks, 200 for the 400 for the 9.8, 500 for the 9.8. No, we're not going to spend 500 on a 9.8 copy of the Hellions. Hell no. But if I can get that Hellions book for under 100, yeah, that's something we could do. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. Again, facsimiles, it depends on the book. Um, I think for me, your only option with, uh, for example, like you said, Hulk 180, 181. I already have reprints. They're not facsimiles. They're just reprints, meaning they got different covers, but the interiors are um, reprints of the story, right? I think in those, like, 181 is pretty much Grail status at this point, right? I mean, I know I could probably spend 2K, blow my wad on a low grade copy of 181 and get it around 2K, right? Um, and just have it, it would feel great. But I also think just having a facsimile of 181 and not having spent 2K on a book would feel equally gratifying. So I think in that instance, right, 181 facsimile, that works. Um, these other books though, they're not, they're like X-Men 135. That's like you can get that for like $75, right? A decent grade for $75, right? Um, 133, same deal. You probably get that for like $100, decent grade, right? Now 251, there's you have a range there. Like I had an opportunity to get a pretty low grade copy for like 250. Didn't pass that up. Um, I know if I go to Rose City Comic Con, I could probably get low grade copy, find a low to mid grade copy there for under 500, maybe 400, right? And in that instance, I think I would want to have that book because 400 is not like grail price, but for me to have that in my collection and feel most definitely feel like a grail book. So I think that's an instance there where if I were to just have the facsimile, it'd always be eating at me, like, especially if it, let's say it skyrockets in price, right? And you kind of miss your opportunity to have bought that. I think I would beat myself up pretty badly over that, and maybe regret eventually paying whatever shoots up to. But yeah, and then again, vice versa. If it, let's say it fell, like drastic, which I don't think it will. I don't think any of the Neil Adams books are going to fall. But for whatever reason, let's say I purchased it for 400 and it's selling for less later. That wouldn't bug me. That would not bug me one iota. But yeah, the fear is, just kind of pick it up while you have that opportunity while it's still like within reach. So that's sort of my take on that. Young, I'm still going. I'm still going, and I'm about to head. Struggle with the thought. I did struggle with it. Thanks, CJ. Um, so yeah, I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow. Is how you do it? Hang loose. Um, and so I don't know if I'm gonna do a video. I know we have a video next week. Don't miss it. We have Philip Tan joining the program. Great Asian American artist. You've probably seen his work. He's done so much in comic books in a relatively, like, I don't want to say it's been a short career, but he's definitely like uh, put out a lot of significant work in a relatively short period of time. So, um, really looking forward to having a conversation with him. And I wish he were coming to Rose City Comic Con. It'd be kind of great to get some original artwork by him as well. But yeah, we'll be hanging out with him next Friday, I believe, for scheduled. So watch that. And yeah, we're going to have Greg LaRoque on at some point. Don't have a date penciled in yet, but once from Mongolia. Is this setting me up for something? Um, no, we don't have anybody scheduled for an artist from Mongolia. So, what's the other thing I was going to mention? Yeah, so Greg LaRoque is coming on. When he gets scheduled, we'll let you know when he's coming on. And I think John Boy Myers is, yeah, John Boy Myers is also planning to join. He just needs to, we need to just lock down a date with him. But yeah, that's pretty much what's on the docket for this month. And again, I'll keep you posted on the job situation. No, I love Mongolians. They're great. Um, we share the same ancestral DNA. That this is the thing about migration. We all kind of all of human civilization is connected at the evolutionary standpoint, right? But also just the migration standpoint. But like if you look at like direct genetic migration and like link, um, Koreans and Mongolians are very genetically similar, as are Koreans and Japanese. Koreans migrated into Japan as well, so you just have this pattern, right? Where we're all interconnected. But which Mongolian are you referring to? It's not like there's. Do you have somebody in mind? We'll do the outreach, but I just don't know. You know, we would love to have a Mongolian on. It just there's not one that we were able to target. So there are a lot of people we just aren't able to target because there's just so many, creatives in this space, and it's like we kind of look at the time we have, the resources we have, and the realistic, you know, the the probability of having that person come on, and we got to do that like mental calculus when we start to plan these things. But I'm really proud of like the guests we've had on. So um, obviously we want to have as many people on as possible, but I just can't be broadcasting 24/7. Um, I've got other things to do. Like I've got to look after stuff here at home and at work. So for me, you know, um, being able to get whoever we kind of do the outreach, and then if people say, "Hey, yeah, I can do it," just get those people scheduled. I think targeting maybe 2 interviews a month, which is roughly 8 people, um, is like a good target to have. Obviously, I would love to do more, but it's just one of those constraints that, yeah, but again, I feel good about the artists we have on. Um, and I will admit, I did not reach out to Jim Lee. Actually, did we reach out to Jim Lee? I think we reached out to Jim Lee via Instagram, which is a really lazy, and Jim Lee is not going to respond to requests on Instagram. The guy's super busy. He's like an executive, right? He's got real like things to plan. He's not going to set aside even 10 minutes of his time to sit on some like YouTube channel with only like 200, 300 followers, right? So I mean that's the thing. Like uh, the goal someday is to bring Jim Lee in onto the channel. That's will always be the goal. But at the end of the day, you just gotta be realistic. You can do all the outreach you want. Just about people being generous with their time and um, yeah, and not. It's not like they're trying to sell or promote. I mean, all these artists, on some degree or level, are promoting their work, or promoting engagement with the community, and that's what we really appreciate about them taking the time to join us and talk comics, talk their work about their work. But yeah, I mean, if they don't want to do that, they want to just not want to go on these kinds of channels and do that kind of interview type interaction, I completely understand as well. Like, if I were in that position, I probably wouldn't want to do it either. If I was like this like busy comic book artist and I had like deadlines to meet and all this stuff, and some guy reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to pop on my YouTube channel?" I'd be like, "Hell no! What? Excuse me, I'm busy. I don't have time for you people." So it's really, when we do have people come on and again be very generous with their time and their um, the fact that they're not just um, lending their time, but really lending their insights, their thoughts, sharing who they are. That's, I think, more significant than any other thing. And that's what I really love about this month and what we've been doing last year, this year, is just creating these relationships, getting to know these artists and making that connection. Um, it's a connection, and it's heartfelt, and it's an exchange that I think, looking back, I look back on the videos and stuff, and it's just really entertaining and enjoyable, um, to um, love the artwork, the stories, the creative energy that goes into these books, and then get to you know really engage with that on a different level, on the creative side, on the personal level, and get to know them as human beings. So it's great. Really loving it. We'll continue to do it and to get. I'm happy with whoever we bring on the show. It really doesn't matter. I know we focus on Asian Americans for this month, but I think, Hyung and I, we've had conversations where we're just open to anybody joining. Anybody, if you want to just share, if you're in the industry and you're doing work and you just want to share and talk about it, and we're going to give you that opportunity. So should be fun. Mega busy. Jim. Jim is super busy. And this is the thing. Like, not to say like anybody. If people come on our show that they're not busy, everybody's busy. Like, I'm busy. Hyung's busy. Like, everybody on this, and so everybody coming in here, chatting, making videos, doing what you're doing. We're all a part of, right. We're all a part of this thing we call comic book collecting. So we're all busy. It's just the artists, um, when they take time out of their schedule to share what they're doing with us, it's really special. And Hyung and I are so appreciative. You know, Sarah and Ariel today, like, um, I really wanted to just talk to them all day. Like, I could have talked to them all day. I really could have just listened to it, what they had to say all day. I just kind of like, um, I just know, like, at some point we want to be respectful of their time, and oh, you know, let them go about their day and feel good about having interacted with us. So, but really, I mean, I was just like, I just loved every minute of that conversation. So it was great. Um, and same goes for Lin Yoshi. I wanted to talk to her longer. I just had a work thing that pop up, and I had to kind of like jump off. But man, was she great. I love always when Ryan joined us. I love catching up with him, and I'm really looking forward to hanging out with him and meeting him, when we go visit down there one of these days. So, you know, these relationships, hopefully we continue to um, stay in touch with them and just continue to build on it. But definitely looking forward to reconnecting with Greg and catching up with him as well. So all these things are pretty cool. Pretty cool. Um, yeah, that's a good point. I know there was this animation studio in Korea where they were getting overworked to put out animation. It was pretty. I don't think they. I mean, that's the job they signed up for. So, but yeah, it's low pay, no no recognition, no fame, right? Yeah. All right. Well, thanks guys for joining. It's I know it's late for you guys over there, but I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow morning, so you'll probably see me back with a sunburn or a nice tan, and we'll we'll see you when I get back. And again, stay tuned this summer. It's going to be an exciting summer of picking up books and sharing them with you. So hopefully you stay tuned to that. See you in the next one. Thanks.